Nevada. Well, we won. We won. We won. And it's great to be back in this beautiful city to celebrate the historic first week in the White House. The golden age of America begins right now, but I have to be honest with you, I'm really here for a different reason. I'm here to say thank you. I went to North Carolina yesterday, and then I flew to see just an unbelievable problem and just a mess in Los Angeles, right? And I said, you know what I ought to do? I want to come to a state known as Nevada. Has anyone ever heard of it? And don't ever mispronounce the name. You're not allowed to do that. You mispronounce the name, you got a problem. You ever see somebody when they say it's Nevada? Nevada? No, they're in deep trouble. I want to come to Nevada to pay my respects because this is the only Republican win of this state in decades, and it was a very big landslide. On day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to, and by the way, Pete Hegseth got approved. And Kristi Noem just got approved, Governor. She's going to keep it. She's tough. She's a tough one. She's a tough one. And she's going to do a great job. On day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and bring down the cost of daily life. We want to bring prices down. Too high. They went way up. They didn't come down. I was told today by one of the big leaders of the world, would call for a telephone call with the President of the United States a year ago. And it'd say, we'd like to speak with, who is this? It's the head of Germany, the head of, name it, the head of France, the name of any country, it didn't matter. He would never pick up the call. They'd say, he'll call you back in 2 months. 2 months. Yeah, it's a schedule. He's extremely busy sleeping. No. Macron of France, he'll call you back in 2 months. So 2 months comes along and there's no call. They say, he didn't call. The stories are, I mean, these stories are not very exaggerated. I want to tell you, they're a little bit for laughter, but, you know, it's only for laughter. The fake news will say, oh, he exaggerated. It was only 1 month, you know. But he'll say he'll call you back, and then he'd never call, and then they could never get him on the phone. And the problem I have is that when I speak to and I speak to them immediately, they'll say, could we speak to the president? Would that be possible? We could do it anytime over the next month. They're so used to this, right? I say, no, I'll pick it up right now. Is he on the phone? Yeah, hello, how you doing? That's what, you know, get it over with, right? Get it over with. The only problem, they were so starved for love from the United States, I cannot get them off the phone. I can't get people, if you can't, I say, I have to go now, King, or I have to go now, President. But you can't get them off the phone. They're starved for love. You know, for years they haven't spoken. They didn't even know we had a president, if you want to know. We've accomplished more in 1 week than other administrations have accomplished in 4 years, and we're just getting started. We got rid of the woke. We got rid of the woke crap. What a lot of stuff. I'll be working with Congress to get a bill on my desk that cuts taxes for workers, families, small businesses, and very importantly, keeps my promise for a thing called, and I know you didn't hear anything about this, and I'm sure it had no influence on the state, the fact that we won this crazy, massive majority, a state that hadn't been won by a Republican in decades. But I'm sure you haven't heard, but we're going to get it for you. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. So if you're a restaurant worker, a server, a valet, a bellhop, a bartender, or one of my caddies, I go through caddies like candy. If I play badly, I always blame my caddy. or any other worker who relies on tipped income, your tips will be 100% yours. Won't that be nice? Yet even in the midst of the suffering he created, Joe Biden launched a cruel campaign to extract more money from tip workers, and that's what happened. I'm telling you, a young waitress, I won't say beautiful because you're not allowed to say that as a politician. Used to be you could say a young, beautiful waitress. This was a young, beautiful waitress, but I won't say that because I feel like I want to continue my political career. If you call the governor won't say it. If you call a woman beautiful today, it's the end of your political career, so I won't do it. But a young waitress, I think you can call young. You're probably not even supposed to say young. Probably supposed to say a waitress. But a young waitress came up, and I said, how are you doing? And in my restaurant in the hotel in Trump, I said, how are you doing? And she said, not great, because they're after me so viciously for tips. They just want my tip income, and they don't believe me, and all of this. And she said, it's terrible. You know, sir, you should have no tax on tips. I said, what? I said, what'd you just say? No tax on tips. That was about the amount of my consultation. It's true. No tax. I said, what did you just say? Say those words again. Sir, no tax on tips. I said, thank you very much. You just won the election. Years ago, 1870 to 1913, we didn't have an income tax. What we had is tariffs, where foreign countries came in and they stole our jobs, they stole our companies, they stole our product, they ripped us off. And, you know, they used to do numbers, and then we went to a tariff system, and the tariff system made so much money. It was when we were the richest, from 1870 to 1913. Then we brilliantly came in with an income tax. No, we don't want others to pay. Let's have our people pay. And then you had the Depression in 1928, 1929. I call it 1929. That was a bad time, but, you know, you didn't have tariffs, and you had tariffs that ended in 1913. But it was the richest our country ever was. That was President McKinley. In fact, we're renaming the mountain, Mount McKinley in Alaska. It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. Headlines from the fake news. No, it will be to serve twice. For the next 4 years, I will not rest, I will not yield, and together we will not fail. We will win, win, win. We will bring back the American dream. We're going to bring it back. And I walked up the stairs of that massive plane that's waiting for me, that big 747, and I said, there's no way I'm going to let myself fall, because that was one hell of a... That triple fall was a disaster. I would call that a political disaster. You can fall once, you can fall twice, but you can't fall 3 times. You can't fall 3 times. Thank you, everybody.